This episode is brought to you by Naked Fig Soap. Shop over a dozen handcrafted artisan soaps locally sourced and made in Arizona using the finest non-toxic intentional ingredients. Naked Fig Soap also offers facial care products along with accessories like soap dishes, soap saver bags, and more.
Visit their website at nakedfigsoap.com and use code DRUMMINGUP, all one word, for 20% off online orders. And that is the best place to find her now.
Yes.
She doesn't really have a storefront so much as she has
As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now,
Yes.
she has her products in certain locations,
Yes.
which again is the best place to find her is at her nakedfigsoap.com website.
Yes.
Or her socials. Instagram is a great spot to find her. Ask her any questions where she's going to be at like a farmer's market.
Yes.
You can find all that out. Or
But coming up, she's
Yeah.
moving to bigger and better opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very happy to hear that because,
Yes.
we just want to
She's
make
one
sure
of our
she's doing
favorite,
okay.
favorite companies.
Oh, yeah. Whenever we're getting low, we always place our order.
Yes.
And again, use that code drumming up,
Yes.
all one word, to get that 20% off discount.
For sure.
nakedfigsoap.com. It'll be in the show notes. We'll have her website. And then the best thing to do is from the website, go find her socials, follow her. That helps her. And by you doing that, it helps us because we know you're listening and we know you're buying her great products. She also offers tattoo care and everything too.
Yes,
so
she does.
just a ton of stuff that she does. It's all locally made and everything. So what was that website again?
That is nakedfigsoap.com.
Using code drumming
Drumming
up,
Up.
all one word, for 20% off at checkout.
Hi there, this is Julian of Gorad, and you are listening to Drumming Up Conversation. Hell yeah.
Drumming up conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Drumming up, yeah. Conversation.
All right, and we got it.
Cool. All right. So today we are joined by my longtime friend, bandmate, and everything else, Erik Redeyes Redmon. How you doing today?
I'm doing well today.
Yeah.
It looks like you're on location somewhere. Where are you at?
You're right. I am on location somewhere, but I can't disclose the exact location. We'll just say that I'm somewhere out by Lake Pleasant.
Okay. Fair enough. Very cool, man. Very cool.
Lake Pleasant, northwest of just a little northwest of Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What got you into music and playing guitar and all that?
Believe it or not, music started for me as a child in elementary school.
Okay.
I wanted to join the school band, and originally I wanted to be a saxophone player, but the saxophone section was all filled up. So my band teacher, she put me in the clarinet section, which I know, okay, not exactly a very masculine instrument, but she put me in the clarinet section, and I started with that and went all the way through elementary and junior high, and it's a rhythm section instrument and stuff. And my dad, he was a bass player, well, still is a bass player. He's still alive. Um, but I kind of grew up with band members and band practice happening at my house, and I just kind of grew up in the whole music world, you know. And once I learned how to read sheet music and stuff, I hit high school, and then I decided I wanted to be like the guys on MTV, so I bought a guitar, and I spent a lot of time grounded. you know, Not gonna say that I was the most obedient child as a teenager, so I spent a lot of time grounded, and that's all I had was my guitar and my sheet music. And back then, um, I used to go to the library at school, and I would print off guitar tabs and stuff, and I just kind of started learning how to play some of my favorite songs on the radio at the time, and it all kind of just launched from there.
Okay. All right. And what age were you then when you really like you got the guitar and all that, would you say? Like
I was 14.
14.
I was
Okay.
I was 14.
Okay.
Let's see, in southern Indiana, back then you only had to be about 14 and a half to officially get a job, and I got a job at Taco Bell.
Okay.
So Taco Bell funded my whole beginning into music. I was in a little bit of trouble. I had to go downtown and take the city bus to go see my probation officer. And one day I was waiting for the bus and I missed it. And so I decided to go into the music store. And what do you know? I had a little bit of money in my pocket. So I bought my first guitar, drug it all the way home on the bus. And my dad and his wife, they just kind of looked at me and said, "Oh God, thank God he lives in the basement."
Yeah. Was it an acoustic or electric?
It was an electric. Yeah,
Okay.
actually, it was an Eddie Van Halen ripoff.
Okay. All right.
You remember Eddie Van Halen's guitar with the
Yeah.
red? It was red with the
Frank
white stripes all over it,
Frankenstein or Frankenfred or it was something or
something like that.
Franken
Yeah,
something. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. My very first guitar was made by a company called Hondo,
Okay.
and uh, yeah, it was the same guitar. I just saw it on MTV and fell in love with it, and so I bought it and took it home.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Who are some of your early influences?
My early influences would definitely be Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains. I love that guy.
Okay.
To me, that guy, he's just an all around. Not only is he an amazing guitar player, an amazing songwriter, but he's just an all around good guy.
Hmm.
You know
He's
what
a
I mean?
great singer too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that he was half of the vocals in Alice in
Yes,
Chains.
he was not just part, but yeah, half. Like he did a lot of that work.
Right. He did a lot of it. He was a
Yeah.
very big part of the songwriting process. He's the one who brought uh oh god, Lane Staley into
Hmm.
Alice in Chains.
Yeah, for sure.
And they just had their voices had this melodic thing that just kind of went together, and and that's how that all came about. But so Alice in Chains was a big one. I'm also a very big fan of Tool,
Adam Jones.
Adam Jones.
Sure.
Oh my lord, did I listen to Tool while I was in high school and stuff? And Adam Jones taught me all about what drop D is,
Hmm.
and a little bit more. And Danny Carey, trying to play with Danny Carey is not an easy thing.
No.
Tool doesn't always play in 4/4 timing.
Yeah, they usually don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was challenging though. That's what drew me to it. Is their music was so challenging to learn how to play, and it just kind of forced me to push myself. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That's
you
like
being a
me.
drummer,
Yeah.
when you were learning how to play Neil Peart,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
betting that it kind of, that's one of those things you're like, I know that I can do this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it took a lot of time to get the little nuances and stuff. Like there's little things you don't that normal people don't hear that I do, and I'm like, I have to do that, or I'm not playing it right. So
Right. And
yeah,
I know what you're saying. It took me 2 whole years before I could play 46 and 2 with the CD all the way through.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
even destroyed a guitar that I
yeah.
had one time because I got so mad, because I just couldn't get it right. you know,
Yeah,
I
I think
took a
we played that.
screwdriver to it and just stabbed it.
Yeah, I think we played that a couple times early on, if I'm not mistaken.
I
So
think we did. I think
yeah,
we
that was
did.
fun. Yeah, I think that was you guys challenging me, and I was like, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
So
and you did it. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. So where did the nickname come from? Red Eyes.
Redeyes. Okay, so that, believe it or not, that's actually not music related at all.
I didn't think
Um,
so.
that goes all the way back to when I was about 8 years old. Um, back then, let's see, that would have been 1989. So back then, my mother, she was a single mom, and instead of paying for daycare, what she did was she got us a membership at the Boys and Girls Club, right? And when she had to go to work during the summertime, she dropped us off at the Boys and Girls Club, and I decided to join the baseball team. Well, I wasn't very good at catching the ball, but I was actually pretty good at hitting the ball. So my coach called me Redeye Redmon,
Okay.
and
Very cool.
it just kind of stuck, you know.
That's really cool. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. And do you have a specific genre that you play in? Do you stray from that, whichever one it is?
Mostly I play like a hard rock. I have done metal,
Hmm.
but I don't I don't push it to the extreme like thrash metal or metalcore or all those different sub genres.
Hmm.
Um, Here the last couple of years I've slowed down a little bit, and I've been playing around with more contemporary and country style music,
Okay.
and I've as long as I can get people on the dance floor and smiling and laughing, you know,
Yeah.
that's just kind of where it is now. I don't play a whole lot of shows anymore, but my band Malicious Melodies from a few years ago, it was taking off. We made it all the way to the Whiskey a Go Go. We opened up for Last in Line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, Vinnie Campbell and them. Yeah, we got
Vinny
the
Appice. Yeah,
yeah,
Vivian
Vinny Appice
Campbell.
and Vinnie Campbell,
Yeah.
he was the
Yeah.
guitar player for Def Leppard.
And Ronnie James Dio's band too.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Last in Line is the remaining members of Ronnie
Yeah.
James Dio's
Yes,
band.
sir. And they're doing a
It was
damn good
really
job
cool,
too.
man. We got
Yeah.
to see him and hang out with him before the official meet and greet at the Whiskey a Go Go. And I mean, you want to talk about that was probably one of the best shows and a highlight of my life was
Nice.
playing the world famous Whiskey a Go Go to a absolute packed room, you
Nice.
know,
That's really cool. Yeah.
and we did. Vinny Campbell even told me he was like, "You guys actually did a really good job opening that show." He's like,
Very
I
cool.
was impressed. He's like, I wasn't expecting that, but you guys came out, you hit the gas pedal, and it just the whole night took off from there.
Very.
And getting that kind of compliment from a musician of his stature,
Hmm.
that meant a lot to me,
For sure. Yeah,
you
you can
know.
carry that the rest of your life, like,
And
yeah.
I mean, we had our hiccups like while we were doing our sound check. Well, since we went first, um, we got the best sound check, if you ask me, because we had all the time in the world to get everything set up on the stage, right?
Hmm.
And I broke a string. Remember
Oof.
that red Les Paul?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that guitar with me. Well, that
Okay.
guitar failed me, and I broke a string right in the middle of sound check. And
Oh.
I had to look at our roadie to go and get my backup guitar,
Mm.
right? Which was actually a homemade guitar by a guy that not very many people know, but he called his company Hellfire Guitars. And the nice thing about that guitar was um, it's got these cool little lights where a couple of the pickups went, and he put exhaust pipes on it like a motorcycle.
Nice. Very
So I
cool.
ended up playing that guitar for the show, and there was a producer, a music producer in LA. He was at the show, and when I got off the stage, he offered me $600 for my guitar.
Jeez.
I
Damn.
had
That's
to tell
cool.
him, I said, I'd love the money, but I'm sorry, this one I got to keep.
Yeah.
I just played the whiskey with this thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't
Right.
let that go.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Do you still have a band now?
Right now, no. I'm not currently in a band. I do have a show coming up on March 11th at the Dirty Dog Saloon. It's me and a guy. He's the front man for a local Motley Crue tribute called Public Enemy Number One.
Okay.
And his name is Vince Thrill on Facebook. Look him up. He's a real nice guy, real cool character.
Okay.
And he met up with me a couple years ago at one of the acoustic performances I was going to do. And ever since then, he's just like every once in a while, hey, Eric, let's get together and do a show. So he'll send me a set list, and I spend a couple months working on it. And that's kind of what we got going on now.
Nice.
You know, I'm not quite as involved as I would really like to be with the music world anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, COVID did a lot of damage.
Yes, it did. Same for me. I had a band, and that's no more because of it. Yeah.
Right. COVID did a lot of damage to the
Yes, it
music
did.
world. You
Yes,
know,
it
when
did.
all of a sudden you couldn't get together, you couldn't practice, you couldn't
Yep.
play a show, couldn't
Yeah.
throw a show, there was no audience. I mean, there's only so much you can do online.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
after
you
after all
can
of that, you know,
yeah.
things just kind of slowed down for me a little bit. And, I
Yeah.
mean, I gotta say, I'm not getting any younger, you know.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you can only do so much, sending files back and forth. And I like to be in the room with the guys, writing stuff, and
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. That's
Yeah.
the only way you're gonna actually
Yeah.
feel the music when you're
Yep.
writing music.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have those disagreements. You
Yeah.
know, you and I, we had a couple of those disagreements.
Sure. Sure.
And you know, what came out of it? A much better product.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
So, how did you and Justin actually meet?
Me and Doc, I don't know him as Justin. I know him as
See?
Doc.
Right.
Me and Doc, we met because way back when I was jamming with a guy named Bruce Jensen and Brandon Teskey, and we were determined to start a band. I met Bruce at a bar one night. We were doing karaoke, and he looked at me and he was like, "Well, I bet I can do better than you." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So he's like, "Yeah." He was a little bit arrogant about it, and so I said, "Okay, why don't you pull off Dead or Alive? Wanted Dead or Alive from Bon Jovi. If you can do so good, and I'll be damned if he didn't do it." He showed me up that night, and I was like, "Dude, wow, that's actually you did really good with that and stuff." And he introduced me to his buddy Brandon, and you know, I went over there and we kind of sat down, and Brandon was like, "Dude, you're a pretty solid player." And at the time, Brandon was going to ASU and taking guitar lessons at ASU. And I looked at him and I was like, "Can you honestly remember how to play the exact same solo every time?" He was like, "Well, yeah, I can do that." And that's when BJ, well, we called him BJ back then.
Yeah.
But Bruce got on Craigslist and was looking for a drummer and found Doc. And he called me up one day and said, "Hey, asshole, we got band practice."
Yeah.
So
I remember that. Yeah.
I went over there and I met Doc.
What was your first impression of him? Because I have a certain impression from when I first met him. So I was wondering what your impression was of him.
My first impression of Doc was number one, he's always had that mohawk thing going on. And he had a group of little dachshunds.
Okay.
You know, the little wiener dogs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool how he had this whole little. I think he had what, like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. She just had her
Yeah.
first litter. Yeah.
And what was the one? What was the one?
The male?
Yeah, the male. What was it?
Frank.
Frank. Frank.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Frank, that cute little shit. Oh my god. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Frank was your buddy, dude.
Yes, he was. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, she got to know him for a long time
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got to know Doc. And, you know,
Mm.
we started the band, and, you know, Doc was very professional. His dad, your dad played for Mugion, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a few
And
others.
I remember you took me to one of his shows over there in Chandler
Mhm.
one day. and he let you get up there and play a song with his band.
Yeah.
And then right after that, what did he do? He got on the stage and he's like, "Okay, son, now watch this," and he pulls out Wipeout.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we got to do all that for sure.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Yeah.
fun shows. You know, a lot of the places we played. It's sad that they're just not there anymore. Like Hollywood Alley.
Yeah.
You remember Hollywood Alley? That was
A
great.
little bit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we played the Red Owl.
Mhm.
We played what was that place over in Tempe that we used to book with that chick from 13th Floor. Remember
Oh.
there was a fight that night and we didn't get to play
Yep.
because there was a fight that night and somebody got their head split open and the ambulance showed up.
Yep.
And
I
we
remember.
were all nice and pissed off because we stood there for 2 hours waiting to play.
Yeah, was that Big Fish Pub?
No, it wasn't Big
No?
Fish.
Okay.
It
Because
was
I remember they
another,
treated.
Used to play at Joe's
it's not
Bar.
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah.
I can't
I
remember
don't
the
know.
name of the place,
don't
but it was
either.
pretty. Remember, it had the 2 separate rooms.
Uh-huh. Okay. I remember Big Fish Pub because they were dicks. So
Yeah, you were the one that killed us from playing the Big Fish because that guy pissed you off with the way he was handling your drums.
remember he tried throwing him out the door.
Oh,
Right.
I've heard this story.
Yeah.
And you had a real problem with that, and then
Yep.
we had a real problem with that.
Yep.
And we were all, we never played there again.
Well, that
Even
and
though
they
that
bumped
was
us.
a fun show.
Yeah, they bumped us back like what 3 hours, right? Something like that.
I
Too. We're
think
supposed
so.
to go on at like 6. We went at like 9:30 or 10 on a Thursday or something. It's like fuck
I-
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that whole gig just didn't
It was
work out the way
bad.
that we wanted it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, a gig's a gig, and you
Yeah.
play your show no matter
Yeah.
what. And
For
we
sure,
still
yeah.
had people cheering for us.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember too, I had like a lot of people I worked with there, and even they were like, that was bullshit, man. Like, you know, they told us when you guys were going on and they pushed you back, and we're here to see you. You know, I was like, yeah, so this is the shit night.
Do you remember where your first gig was with Ethos?
Yep. How could I ever forget? How could you ever forget?
Oh,
Our very first gig was at ASU
mm-hmm.
for the
Oh, wow.
Battle of the Bands. And if you remember,
guy with the devil mask
yeah, the
on.
guy with the double mask and everything. And if you remember, we got an encore for a second song, and we still had like 3 minutes, and they shut us off.
Yep.
They
Wow.
shut us off right in the middle of the song.
And we
Right
lost,
there.
and we should have won. Everyone was wanting us. It was
Right.
it was the whole School of
Everybody
Rock
there was
shit.
cheering for our band and
Yeah.
stuff, and somehow magically we lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think we still won. We played a hell of a show, man. That
Dude,
was
that was-
fun.
that was a good time.
Yeah.
That's something I'll never forget. The Battle of the Bands on the campus of ASU, right there in the food court. You know,
Yeah. Well, did I have my drum kit, or was it a house kit that gig?
no, you had your kit.
I thought so. Yeah. Because I think that was the first time I ever got to play it live. Because I had just gotten it before I joined you guys. So
Yep. You had
Yeah.
that black DW.
yes, sir, still do.
Still, and now it's the size of an entire living room.
Well, he's a Neil Peart fan. I can only
Yes.
imagine. Neil
Uh,
Peart had 52 drums.
Yeah. Yep.
He's not quite there yet, but he's always wanting to add one more snare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you got to turn around and do all of that, you still got to have your snare. You can't play it behind him.
No sir. No sir.
Do you remember where your last gig was with Ethos?
Our last show with Ethos.
And why did you guys break up?
We'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
Well, our last show, I want to say it was Hollywood Alley, because if I remember right, we were on at about 9 or 10 o'clock that night, and a couple of the members were not very happy with me because I had drank a little too much, and believe it or not, I had vomited outside and stuff right before we're supposed to go on the stage and this and that. But we made it through the show, and that was a point in time where I was just having a little too much fun, I think, for the band. And uh, it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
You know, um, there were some differences between me and a couple of other people. You know, won't really get into the details of it, but I mean that's part of life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just how things ended up going.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'll answer your question. Well, so I'll answer the reason I left. Or we had someone that was in the band that was feeding me false information because they wanted me out of themselves. It was our old bassist that joined us.
Robert,
Yeah, and he told me that Bruce and Brandon were going to kick me out because they were going to kick you out as well, and I was going with you because they were tired of whatever this and that.
yeah,
And
I was a little bit of a wild man.
yeah, well, and I found out later on that that was bullshit. That Brandon and BJ were not going to kick me out. He was telling me that so because he wanted to jam rush stuff with me all the time and do something different than what we were doing. And it sucks because we had a good thing going.
Right.
And fucking pissed about being told that. So
Yeah,
that's
believe it or not, here's a little inside secret for you. Believe
Mhm.
it or not, there's a band out there right now called Until the Sun.
I know who
All
they
right.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, BJ ended up being the bass player and the singer, and he's out of it now. And
Mhm.
Brandon's still carrying it on. They took our songs that we wrote back then
Mhm.
and converted them all to blues. They're still playing Battle Cry.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You know, they're still playing a few of our songs. They
Yeah.
just kind of changed it up into blues.
Mhm.
And you know, me and Brandon, we're still friends. We're on, you know, speaking terms. I don't hear much from BJ anymore, but
Yeah.
you know, I will say that, you know, thank God that his son is doing okay, because I do see some stuff on Facebook. And
Yeah.
Will Jameson, he had a bit of a medical battle there for a while,
Yeah.
you know, and ultimately that's why Bruce ended up stepping back, you know, because you got to take care of your family.
Mhm. Oh, for
You know,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
his boy, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's just kind of how things went. I mean, after Ethos, it became Corium. It
Love
took a
that.
couple years, but we ended up getting back together, and we hired a guy named Michael Gabbert as the drummer. Wasn't as good as you, I'm sorry.
That's what I was told. I've heard.
But you know, he did the job, you
Yeah.
know, and he was fun to be around.
Mhm.
But we became Corium for a while, and then
Did you guys end up on the Holmberg's Battle of the Band thing?
Yeah, one
on
year we were.
KUP?
Yeah, one year.
I've done Pladio 3 times.
Okay.
We did it once with Ethos, and then we did it 2 more times with Corium, and it's a roast. You
Oh,
know,
For
I
sure.
mean, you got to have thick skin being a musician anyway. You
Mhm.
know, because there's always somebody that's going to say something, but to have your band completely ripped apart, you know, by a radio DJ, and I know Holmberg. I've met him multiple times. I
Yeah.
know him and Brady. Brady, he doesn't remember my name, but he remembers my face every time I see him.
Mhm.
You know, but to just have your band completely rip a new asshole, you know, just because one guy lives inside of a box,
right.
Yeah.
you know, I, and that's the thing with Holmberg. I get it, you know, you're the local metal radio guy, but you live in this little box, and
Yeah.
outside of that box, he does not go.
Now
You
Yeah.
he's
know, and if
critical
you
of a
don't
lot
fit
of
in
things.
that box, then you don't fit in his world.
Right.
You know, and I don't know. Uh, I mean, man, he tore into us the first 2 times pretty good. The last time, he said he actually liked the music, but he hated the singer. He said that BJ sounded like Merle Haggard.
And I remember when our Ethos one was on. I'm just trying to remember what song it was. I think it was Battle Cry. And I remember he said the everything but the vocals were good on that
Yeah,
too.
he never liked the vocals,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
which I don't really get because
Yeah.
people dug, I mean, BJ had a masculine voice.
And it fit us. So
Right.
it fit what we were
Right.
doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every crowd we played to seemed to like it just fine. But for, like I
Yeah.
said, Holmberg, he lives inside of his own little box and bubble. And if you don't go there, then you're not a part of it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure. Agree.
Yeah.
So where did the name Ethos come from?
Ethos came from, if you look, Brandon actually came up with the name. If you look up, I think it's ancient Greek mythology. There were three brothers, Ethos, Pathos, and Lothos. And Brandon just thought that it was a cool word, and we thought that it was a cool word. And plus, there was a company that made water bottles back then called Ethos. Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of went with it.
So why do you think the band never had any commercial success? Because the music was really good. Even though
The reason why is because this is where me and BJ and Brandon kind of butted heads a lot. They didn't want to listen to a lot of my marketing ideas. And
Nor with
when
me.
you're in a band, you have to be able to market your brand and your music, and I was all about it. And I was the very outgoing when Doc was too,
Mhm.
Doc would share the stuff. This was still like in the beginnings of Facebook, and the internet kind of it changed the music industry and how it worked, you know. And me and Doc were advertising and trying this and trying that, and I kind of got pulled aside and I was told to stop doing that,
Wow.
and I was like, well, dude, you guys, you have girlfriends and this and that. I was like, I'm the single one. I'm going out here and I'm going to party with these people and I'm going to have fun and I'm going to get our name out there. And, I was the one signing titties, while they were getting off the stage and going home to their girlfriend, you know.
You weren't doing that also?
No.
I'm going to stay out of that. I'm going to stay out of that right now. I ain't stepping in that mud hole.
She doesn't care. She's heard all the
Yeah.
stories, so she doesn't care.
But,
But,
I mean, I was the more fun one, that's just how people saw me, and it was a whole marketing thing, and they just didn't want to listen. BJ was like, well, we have to spend this money and we have to buy this and we got to buy that. And I was like, no, you don't. All you got to do is go and hang out with people.
Right.
well, my big thing was I wanted to get that album done as quick as possible, so at shows we can sell it and everything
Right.
else. And
Right. You're right. We were still doing.
They were wanting to gig. Yeah, they were wanting to gig a lot. I'm like, no, we got to stop gigging. We got to gigging is useless if we don't have anything to give them to go home with.
Right.
We got to get like a 10-song album out.
Right. And
Then
you and
we
me,
start
we were
selling-
talking about stickers and T-shirts
Stickers
and
and
stuff
t-shirts,
like
yep.
that.
Yep.
You're right. You have to have something physical that you can hand
Yeah.
to somebody.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that worked out so well with Malicious Melodies.
Mhm.
Number one, our shirts weren't black; they were white.
Mhm.
It was different.
Yeah.
You can wear a white T-shirt when it's 110 degrees outside. Can't
Yeah.
wear a black one.
Yeah.
We did things where we would put packages together. We had photos of each member printed up on big pictures.
Mhm.
And if you bought a photo, you got the autograph, plus you got a koozie and a sticker.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We had things that we could hand out to people, and
my thing was like, let's come out with an album. We sign it, we sell the album, and then they get a sticker for free with it or something for free with it as well. And they put that sticker on their car. They listen to the album, and
exactly.
That's how you build a following. You put where
And they just didn't want to do that. They wanted to hire not a promoter, but a public
A PR person.
yeah, a public relations person. And
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm not paying somebody for this. I can do it on my own.
All they're going to tell us is to do exactly what we're saying to do. Get an album done. Get stuff tangible that people can take home.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's how you get a record deal. You don't get a record deal by playing shows. You got to have something that they can take with them to give to the record company to listen to.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, nowadays maybe you can get away with it because someone can record it on their phone and show it off. But back then, they got to be able to take something back with them.
This thing ain't working.
So
Yeah, for what it's worth, I thought the music was great. You guys should have gone really far with it.
we should have.
We really should have, because you're right. And I'll tell you what, Brandon Teskey is an absolutely amazing, amazing guitar player. You know, and you put me and him in the same room, and we will write you a song. You know, you throw Doc on the rhythm section, you know, keeping us in time, and now you've damn near got yourself a fucking rock star band.
Yeah.
You know, we had a decent bass player, but he was a little weird.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
about bass players; they're all a little weird.
For sure. Yeah, she's been through a lot of bassists and band and musicians with me.
We
So
had
You're
one-
right. I mean, we really did. We had something.
yeah,
You know, and people were, when they saw the shows and they heard the music live, you know, like some of them recordings that you got, you know, I think one of them is a live recording of when we did Hey You, and
Well,
you
I
can hear
have-
the crowd in the background.
yeah. And I
You know?
well, I have the Joe's Grotto live stuff that I remastered as well.
Oh God,
remember,
you
remember
have
when-
that show?
yeah, that's what all the live ones were.
You know, do you remember?
Well, I
I had a girlfriend at that show, and that show that we did,
Mhm.
you do you remember that we had to go there on the Wednesday in the middle of the week before, and you had to play the house kit, and you were not happy about that because
No.
it was a piece of shit.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and then I had too much drink, and I almost fell off the stage.
Yeah, I remember.
Thank God that wall was there. That's all I could say.
Yeah, and I remember too. Like I'm glad we did. And thinking back to it, is they told us after we were done that they recorded it. That couple or whatever. Because I'd have
Right.
been really, really bad if they had told us beforehand that they were going to record it. And I'm really glad they did, because it's really the only live anything we got. We were playing a lot of shows then. And yeah, that version of Hey You that we did is killer, man. I really
It
wish we
is
had gotten
killer.
the studio.
You know, Brandon and BJ actually bought the rights to that song to sell it, and it
Oh,
was
wow.
available on Apple and Spotify and all of that for a few years.
Okay.
And they paid the money to actually sell this, you know, our version of that song.
And I didn't see anything for it.
Yeah, neither did I, because nobody bought it.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know
fair
how
enough.
hard it is to get somebody to spend 99 cents on your song?
Yeah. Oh,
for
I
sure.
know. I know.
They'll spend $10 on a coffee every morning,
Yeah.
but they won't pay 99 cents for your song.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something that's never really made sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, here's something that you could have forever. and
Yeah.
It's timeless.
And someone spent a lot of time on it too. You know?
Right.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. And,
But
and
you're
you
right.
like,
I still talk to a guy. He was at quite. Hey, what's happening? Sorry, I'm in the middle of an interview right now. But anyway, I still talk to a guy. He was in a band called Bitter Allegiance back then,
okay.
and he loved our version of Hey You.
Yeah, she does too.
Absolutely. Every time we played that song, that guy was screaming in the crowd, and people, it was a head turner. You know, they would hear those first few notes and be like, what? What? Okay, now I got to see if they're going to fuck this up or not.
Yeah. And we didn't.
I liked all the songs. I liked Soma. I liked Plastic Face. I liked Battle Cry. I liked them all. I just
Plastic Face was one of my favorites.
That was my favorite. Because I remember I co-wrote that. That was the one I wrote the most on, because I came up with that drum intro. and
Yeah,
all that.
you had that drum line.
Yeah.
Yep, you had that drum line, and that, you know, dude, yeah, that Plastic Face was one of my favorites. Battle Cry was one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Soma, I don't know. was
I
kind
like
of in and out.
Cold Blue was a fun one because I like
Cold Blue,
how we built it up and built it out and everything. So
right?
yeah,
You know, engineering wise, that was a great song. You're
yeah,
right. The whole song was one giant build up
yeah,
and stuff. You know, it's just for the music that we were doing at the time, it was just too slow. It was, you know,
yeah. But I'm proud of it, and I think nowadays it would work. You know, that's what sucks is nowadays it's people are
I agree with you.
wanting that
You
hard
know,
rock more
and
than metal and stuff. So
nowadays people need to understand it's actually harder to play slow.
very much. I tell her that all the time. You can screw up fast and no one notices. You screw up slow, everybody's gonna hear it.
Everybody notices.
Yeah, yeah.
It's much harder to play slow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or even mid tempo or whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But most of the metal and stuff that I hear out there anymore, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of it's good. Like Fatal Malady is a great band. I love that band.
Okay.
Saint Madness, great band. Love that band. They've been around forever too. You know Patrick Flannery,
No.
the lead singer of Saint Madness. You should interview him. You
Okay.
know, great guy. He's been around. That guy has stories of the rock and roll world that would blow your mind.
Shoot us his info. We'll look him up. So
And
absolutely.
I'll shoot you his info.
Okay.
But a lot of it, is, I mean, you get some people in the same room, and it's, I don't know, half the time you want to beat yourself in the face with a hammer.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, I've had nothing but bad luck the last few years.
We've had some real weirdos that have come to the house, and then afterwards I'm worried that they came to our house and like saw what we have in the house, like fuck, they're gonna rob us.
Yeah.
We had that one
And there's a
creepy
lot of egos out there too.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that the internet did was blow everybody's ego up, and that's a problem that we had in Malicious Melodies. Was with our lead singer, we essentially ended up creating a monster. It completely went to his head, and before we knew it, now he's fighting people at the shows. He's getting into it with people on Facebook. He's, come over and fight me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
And the egos is kind of what gets me because, like I told you in the beginning of all this, I grew up and I learned how to read sheet music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show me another guitar player that can actually say, hey, that note right there, that's A. That's
Yeah.
G. This is D sharp.
Yeah, for sure. And
Nobody
and you-
can do it. They don't understand the theory behind it.
that and I think people just don't respect each other much anymore with it. It's like people everyone's about showing off now instead of writing a song. And it's
Right.
you got to
Right.
start with the song. What the way we did it too is the same way. You start with the song and then you start showing off. Like, let's get the basis for it.
Right.
Let's get the overall what we want to do with the song, and then we'll start showing off it when we need to. But let's build the
Right.
foundation first. Like Battle Cry started off real simple, real basic,
Yeah, 4 notes.
4
4
notes, and
chords.
then
That's all we had.
Plastic
And
Face.
you
I
just
didn't
build off of it from there.
Yeah,
You
Plastic-
can't have
yeah.
a song where you've literally written 3 different songs in one song.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, and like same thing with Plastic Face. It didn't originally start with my drum intro. I heard what you guys were doing with it. I was like, hey, what if I threw this and did this? And then all of a sudden you guys are like, why don't we start it with that? We'll come in with it.
Yeah, because it was cool.
Yeah, and that's how it got built. But it's started out
A
simple.
lot of the best things in music happen by accident.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's what I've been running into recently is I'll have someone over there and just look how fast I can play this. I don't care how fast you can play it. Can you write a goddamn song?
And you play it well.
Yeah, can you play it well, and can you write a song? Can you make something that's catchy and people want to listen to? I don't care how fast you can play this.
Right.
I don't care how slow you can play it. Let's just write a song about it. Like that's
Right.
a lost art. And then working with people is a big thing too. It's just
In writing songs, when you're writing a song, you're actually putting down your emotions on paper.
Mhm.
you know. And the trick to it is with a song is transferring the emotion that you felt about whatever it is you're singing about to another person. Can you make them feel what you were actually feeling?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot more feelings that people have than just hatred, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of songs that
Hell,
people
I
think
had a song called Toes in the Sand that was about having sex with a girl on the beach. It was a happy song.
yeah. Well, that, and I mean, a lot of songs that people think are like satanic or this or that are actually the opposite. It's teaching people about being kind to others and doing this and doing, whatever, or
Yeah, but you have to be able to understand the words,
exactly,
when you're listening to it.
yeah, yeah. Well, because like 666 number of the beast is actually about coming over and taking over land and stuff like that, and or I'm sorry, not six number of the beast. Run to the hills. People think it's
Right.
it's about this and that, but it's actually about the opposite. They thought it was about encouraging taking over land and stuff, but they're talking about it from the perspective of people whose land was taken over and stuff like that. So
Right, but at the same time with that song, like you could understand what the guy was saying.
yeah.
And yeah, he had his own tricky wording about it, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what made you go back and listen to it again,
Yeah,
because you're
for
like,
sure, for
did
sure.
did I hear that right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He conveyed the message and the feeling,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
in my opinion, that's what really good music is. And that
Mhm.
you want to know how people got big? That's how they got big.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
not because they knew everybody in town.
No, no. And the whole overnight success thing and all that, it's like, no, I mean, everyone says like Pantera with Cowboys from Hell was an overnight success. Like, no, they've been a glam band for 10 years.
Yeah, nobody knows that Phil Anselmo used to be like Cinderella. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and he joined them one album before that too. Like
right?
they had done 3 albums before he even joined them and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
were like
that.
'80s butt rock before they were Pantera.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at those early photos that look like Striper. so, so it's like yeah. People, everyone works hard for it. There's very very few that actually their first album is their first album. So,
Right.
and,
Yeah,
what do you
you'll
what
write
are you
10
listening to these
albums
days?
before you get one to go big.
Yeah, what are you listening to these days? What are you into?
Me, I'm really there's a cover band out. Um, they're called No Resolve, and man, they take these songs and they put like the metal. You remember like we were talking about what we did with Hey You?
Uh-huh.
They do that to other songs. Like they
Okay.
did Heaven by Brian Adams, but it is
Oh, cool.
badass.
Nice.
They redid uh God damn it, what's his name? Danger Zone. The guy that wrote the Top Gun song, Danger
Oh yeah,
Zone.
Kenny Loggins. Yeah.
Kenny Loggins. Yeah, they redid dude, you should hear it. Oh my god, it is awesome.
Have you
You know,
ever heard of Children of Bodom?
yeah,
They do a cool version of that one too.
right on.
Yeah, it's
I'll
really
have to
cool
check
too.
that out.
Check that out. Yeah.
But I've been listening to stuff like that. I'm a real big fan of Blackstone Cherry,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
I kind of like a little bit more of the outlaw kind of
Okay.
thing right
Okay.
now.
All
I
right.
don't know, maybe it's a phase I'm going through, but I kind of like the outlaw and a little bit of the country thing right now. I'm
Did you ever listen to the David Allen Coe with Vinny and Dimebag?
hell yeah,
Okay. I'm like, because if you
that's
haven't, if
hell
you, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, and hell yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, for sure. Let's say if you haven't heard that David Allen Coe with Pantera,
Alcohol and ass.
hell yeah, right on. Yeah, as I say, if you haven't heard that, you got to listen to it. So cool. That's right up your alley then. Nice,
But
man.
yeah, I still listen to a lot of rock and stuff. I just the newer metal seems like it's very manufactured to
Yeah,
me.
I agree.
It
I agree.
I don't really get the feeling of what the artist is doing. It's more of
Mhm.
the sound. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It
I
just
get it.
doesn't. It's it's just not a heart to heart connection.
For
You know?
sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing behind it anymore.
And I
So,
really hope that, musicians, I mean, number one, the music industry is in trouble. Everybody, everybody should know that because musicians are a dying breed. They took music out of the schools,
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
and like I told you, that's where it all started for me,
Same here.
you
Yep.
know,
Same here.
and I mean, what we're going to end up with before long, if you ask me, is a bunch of just computer generated stuff where it's not even real instruments.
Yeah.
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 It's all emulated or simulated somehow,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I hope not, but we need
But
to get
I'm
music
really
back into
hoping that,
schools.
this next generation musically can start pulling it together and,
Mm.
understand that, you know what, in Malicious Melodies, we were never out to try and get 1 million views on our music video. We were
Yeah.
happy with 500 of them.
Yeah, for sure. For
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And we made the video and we were working on going back into the studio and trying to make another one,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But we were also able, if you've ever watched that video, Persistence of Life, you find it on YouTube, Malicious Melodies, Persistence of Life.
Okay.
Terry Babbitt he's a local guitar player. Back then he was in God, what was the name of their band? Black Gun or Black Gun. I don't remember. But anyway, he was the videographer, him and his daughter and stuff. And the video, I mean, it came out great. We came in second place in a video award thing that
Nice.
was going on back in what was that? That was 2017, 2018, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But if you watch the video, I mean, it's it's like like MTV.
Nice.
The video it was the band, different shots of all the members playing and jamming and stuff, but there was also clips of what the song was about. The song was about how you have to fight your way through life every day, and you have to do it all your life. That's
Yeah.
why it's called Persistence of Life.
Okay.
And we had these different scenes that would pop up of, like, it started out with a couple little kids fighting, and then the little kids were like teenagers, now they're fighting, and then now they're in their 20s, somebody gets knocked out, this guy over there got drop kicked, and you know what I mean. But the way that it was all done up was just, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Well, I'm glad you got to do all that stuff. I wish we had shot a music video with Ethos.
Right.
So,
Right, I wish we would have too.
yeah. We should have been focused on that kind of shit. So, because YouTube
If
was
you
a
didn't
thing
live
then.
on the other side of the world, I'd be coming over to your house to jam.
Same here. So,
I'm
but
at
my
Lake
stuff,
Pleasant, and you're all the way out there in the southeast.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And where you playing? You're playing on March 11th, you said, right?
Yeah, March
Okay,
11th, Dirty Dog Saloon up in Scottsdale.
Up in Scottsdale. Okay,
Yeah,
that's near where Bike
I
Week
think
is, right? Westworld,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's over by there,
Okay.
and yeah, it's from 6 to 9 o'clock. It's just gonna be an acoustic deal with me and Vince Thrill, and
Okay. Cool.
we're just a couple of guys that just like playing a little guitar and singing some songs, and every once in a while we get somebody to dance.
Very cool,
That's
man.
what it's all about. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and let this go. We're having really trouble seeing you now.
Yeah.
It got dark fast.
Yeah, the sun went down.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for doing this. We
Thank you.
really appreciate it. So,
Well, Doc, hey,
Yeah,
from me
yeah.
to you, brother.
yes,
You know,
yes,
if I was there, I'd be giving you a hug right now because
I
I never
appreciate that.
forgot about you. I've always
Same
thought
here,
about
man.
you. I've hoped that you've done well and everything. And
For sure.
Andreas, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And hopefully we can come face to face for some coffee or maybe even a beer. you know.
Absolutely.
to 'em all.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. We're just yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll keep in touch for sure. So cool.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you again, man. All right, man.
Drumming up
Thank you.
conversation.